Welcome back to another special edition of JMC Live. This edition we are interviewing Shawn King, the artistic director of the recent Santa Monica flash mob and Nativity that just recently happened in California. Stay tuned. Well, tell me the beginning of the idea of a flash mob. I've been involved in a couple of flash mobs myself, doing ministry in South Africa and all across the United States, but I haven't done one for Christmas yet. So, can you tell me from the beginning, from the initial idea, how did this happen?
You know, it really was just a couple of friends sitting around and talking about the circumstances in Santa Monica, you know, with the scenes committee being shut down and the city not able to handle the demands of the atheist groups and the Christians and all of that. And it was just, we were all so disappointed in that tradition being shut down. And so it was just kind of that conversation of, well, what could we do? And somebody had the idea for, you know, if we could all come together in some way, and it was like, oh, flash mob. So it was very casual, and I have actually done a flash mob for Easter before, so it wasn't such a crazy idea in my head, for in terms of a religious holiday being celebrated as a result of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started talking and started figuring out how we could do it, and it was such a short span of time that we put it together that we decided a dance wasn't possible, but Christmas carols, everybody loves to sing Christmas carols, so that was the offshoot of it, the kind of tweak we put onto it. It was everybody show up and sing some carols with us, and we kind of formulated the first part, the kind of the nativity part, as well as the initial song that was more of a performance piece. And then the last three songs were all carols that everybody could join in to sing.
Okay, so tell me, you had roughly a month or 2 months to prepare for this, right?
No, it was way shorter than that. It was, I think, 3 weeks.
3 weeks to prepare, okay.
3 weeks, yeah.
All right, so you had a mini skit for the Nativity, and which I saw that in the video. You had Lynette Tapia, which was singing.
Yeah, we had, I think it ended up being maybe 10 or 12 actors. Lynette was one of the first people I called because I knew I just know her heart and I know her talent, obviously, and she was excited to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just kind of started calling singers that we knew. I mean, I've been in the music industry for many, many years, so we found a director who wanted to direct the singers and organized literally one rehearsal for the singers. And the actors rehearsed the day of, and we threw it together. So it's pretty exciting to see if it actually came together in such a short time.
All right, so 3 weeks to prepare. You picked a few songs to sing. Tell me about the day of the event. What happened?
We met at the local church at Metro Calvary. They opened their doors to allow us to rehearse there, and I brought all the costumes from a show I've done in the past, so I had those with me. And some of the people, we didn't know who was going to show up to be actors, so put them in costumes that day. We rehearsed the actors once, then the singers came, they rehearsed their music, and then we put the two together. And it was really neat. Before that even started, we circled around and we prayed, and our biggest prayer was just that the community would feel encouraged. I think that was what I loved about this, is it wasn't a protest, it wasn't out of anger, it was a response of just encouragement and love and just wanting to tell the story of Christmas. And the whole day felt like that. We were excited to be able to tell the story and put smiles on people's faces, and so we prayed before the right there. And it was a great place to do it. It was, I mean, there were several hundred people around shopping who got to see it. Got to see lots of kids and their excitement. We had a real baby, which was really special. It was a family, a husband, wife, and their baby who played Mary and Joseph. And I think that was a highlight for a lot of the people who got to see it. And, there was a choir singing that day at Santa Monica Place, and they joined in. They were so excited. So they gave us 4-part harmony with all the carols. So it really was just a great, positive, fun event.
So an unexplained event, what I mean by that is as I look last year, we had the issue in Athens, Texas with the Nativity, and I talked about that. And now this year, Santa Monica being told that they can't have a nativity on display. So then you go to looking at the rules, you can have a live nativity. So there's been carols and nativities, but this big flash mob that happened, 3 weeks, that's almost unheard of, getting something prepared at this magnitude. Then you have Lynette Tapia. Then you show up at the event. It's raining. I know there was talk about the security guards and others were.
We had. It was like we were constantly audible. Okay, what are we going to do now? And we had someone stay at the park to redirect people who came, and there were a lot of people who showed up to participate who weren't part of the rehearsal, and so they had that extra half an hour to walk the block over to Santa Monica Place. It really was. It felt like this was not even in our hands. That I don't know if you're a believer or not, but it just felt like God was directing this whole thing from the beginning. It doesn't seem possible that we could get it all done.
See, that's the other part that I look at too, is how we as Christians, when we try and do things like this, we get into this God moment. We get into this moment where the Holy Spirit takes over. Everything that just happened should not happen. There's no logical explanation this whole event even occurred. 3 weeks time to prepare. Then you have the adversity at the event, the rain. Then you have the other adversity, the security guards and the police and whatnot, saying, we don't know what's going to happen, what's going to happen, this is going to work, is this not going to work. And then you have another God moment after all this adversity happening, saying no. There's another choir at the event, and at the same time, they don't say, well, this is my event, we're not going to be involved. They join with you. You did not know they were there. They didn't know you were there, and they join with you. And when you watch this video, you see all these people showing up, and at the end, there's these lights that come on. And you can see from the audience, from some of the pictures I've seen as well, there are many people that keep gathering as the event builds. And I could see that when the event was over, people started talking to you. Did you get to talk to anyone before you left?
I was a little busy trying to round up actors and costumes and that sort of thing, but I was doing that for a good 15 minutes afterwards, and people just stayed around. They were just sitting around talking about what they saw. As I was towards the end, there was a couple and their child who ran up and said, "Oh, look, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what Christmas is all about." And it was just that, hearing that comment made it all worth it for me. It was just that, oh, we did it. We brought Christmas to this community.
And I know a lot of people
really
say, that the entertainment industry area, Santa Monica, Hollywood, Southern California, California as a whole, is a big mission field. And I realize you being involved with the church, being involved with the ministry, is the needle in the haystack, is the pearl that you're trying to find. I know it must be really difficult to try and get the light out there, but you've endured a lot, and I think we're going to see more of these kinds of things happening here in the future, because I realize the darker that America keeps getting, it seems the brighter the light and the salt of the earth of us Christians can shine. And
it's almost like the God uses that adversity. It brings us to our knees, and then it lifts us up and encourages us to be more vocal and to be more, intentional about our faith. Mm-hmm. People can look at it as a discouraging thing, but but I think from what I've seen, it really can unite Christians, and it can cause us to act in ways that we might not have otherwise. So, yeah, I mean, I think that darkness is definitely causing us to act and do things that we wouldn't ordinarily do, you know?
Exactly, and I think it's waking a lot of, I call, the sleepers. Those that, just go to church. And there's an argument in America. Well, there's a church on every corner. There's ministries all over the place. But when you go to schools, when you go to businesses, when you go to libraries, so on and so forth, you bring up Christianity, you bring up the church, those are the answers you get. You don't get there's a flash mob, oh, there's this, oh, there's that. And I think we're getting to the point where we're becoming mission-minded. And as I talk to my ministry partners overseas and even here in America, I think we're not going to have a revival. I think we're going to go beyond that to the restoration. And what I mean by that is, I mean that we're going to start treating America itself as a mission field. Instead of sending people to Africa and other countries, we're going to start doing more things like this. More dramas, more skits, more plays in the public eye, and lead people to Christ and start building things better, because I think that's where we're at this point.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I think our country is so entertainment focused that the arts is something that can really speak to them, because it speaks straight to the heart, and that's where God wants to reach them first. You know, you can reach their heart. It's the rest, the intellectual side, that part will come. But myself as an artist, I absolutely feel called that's where I need to reach people, is their heart, and I can do that through music and drama and the different arts. And I love that idea of you as being a mission field. We need to think of it that way, for sure.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I do here with my ministry. I am an American missionary, so that's what I try and help facilitate with the different ministries I know across America. And now I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there and say I actually look forward to speaking with you again in the future and partnering with you and other things that are happening. I was kind of the guy behind the scenes with Alex, praying and talking with Alex on this whole event, because I assisted with, the Athens, Texas Nativity situation last year. I was part of the prayer team for that. And while I couldn't leave Ohio to go to Athens, Texas, my birth town, consequently enough, that's my birth town at attack, I said I had to stand up, and I said, Alex, I was one step away from booking a plane ticket to come to this flash mob, but circumstances changed where I wasn't able to. So I said, well, what can I do? He's like, well, here's what we can do. Because we kept it quiet, we kept it hidden for a long time, and we just kept praying, we kept bringing other people, buzzing in people's ears, making posts on social media that were about Christmas, nativities, but not ever going to the point of really saying the flash mob happened. And he called me 3 to 5 times a day, letting me know what's going on, and I would buzz in his ear and say, hey, talk to this person, try and do this, try and do that. So then it all would come together. And so I've been hearing about you and Lynette and Steve and everyone else in between. In fact, I'm waiting on Steve to call me back, too, so I can finish
that's great. Steve's a great guy. He's just got such a great heart.
So when I get done with this, I'll write up an article. Hopefully he'll write me or call me by the end of the evening so I can get this out there.
Oh, that would be great.
So do you have any final... No problem. Do you have any final...
for your encouragement, too.
No problem. Do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with us today? Like, what's the next thing that's going to happen? Or are there any plans or something that you just want to finish this out with?
Well, I know that it was so fun that we want to do it again next year. And we're talking about how can we make it bigger and better next year and reach more people. So, so next year we'll have a little more time than 3 weeks.
Good deal.
Yeah. So no, I think that's it. I just hope that all Christians will remember to respond in love and not in hate. You know what I mean? When we get this, these groups who kind of come up and stand against us, and that God doesn't want us to respond that way. There's better ways to respond.
Well, that was Shawn King, the artistic director for the Santa Monica Flash Mob. Later, we'll be interviewing Steve Snook, the pastor of Metro Church. and how he and Shawn and others created a live nativity scene along with Christmas caroling at the flash mob that took 3 weeks of time to prepare. Stay tuned.